Museums are institutions dedicated to the collection, preservation, exhibition of artifacts, artworks, other objects of historical, scientific, or significant cultural objects. I want to welcome you to this short talk on museums, this second in the series on museums. We must know our past to be able to handle our present and do well for the future, forecast and know who we are. We remember the Wright brothers, how the plane started. We remember the Stone Age, how the first man started using stones. It's developed to knife and what have you, saws now. So we need to know our past to be able to handle the present, manage the present, and do better for the future. Because this generation is not the last generation, and the future one may not be the last one. So museums are significant institutions for every country, and in each country of the world who have museums. They play a vital role in preserving and promoting our collective heritage. They help in educating us, the public, and inspiring future generations. In that tape, we mentioned the significance and importance of museums. We also gave examples of top museums in the world and the need to sustain museums. Let me quickly say it. Museums are part of our culture and our being and heritage. I want to use this forum to encourage every country, make sure in the curricula that students are sponsored to visit museums. Hitherto is most of the privileged people. If you go to a private school, then you're taken to a museum on trip, industrial or historical trips, to know what's happening. Like where I'm speaking from now, and most museums of the world, you have the culture of everybody, the artifact. There'll be an artifact representing that country. You need to know more about it. You need to visit them in whatever organization, the church, mosque, temple. Sponsor your children to, or as a group, corporately to visit museums. In the next step, I'll be talking about the types of museums. Let's go ahead. Museums, as we have said, they are significant and important parts of our legacy, culture, and education. How do we sustain them? For economy, we need to sponsor corporate sponsorship of visits to museum, corporate sponsorship of road shows on museums, and also days, Africa Day, Canada Day, US Day, the museum every year. I want to suggest that on national days of each of the museum, wherever our embassies or the consults our commissions are, let it be part of what they will do yearly. When it's a particular country's day, Canada Day or Nigeria Day, we should sponsor the one that should be there. There are corporate sponsors. We need to let our children know our history. Let me mention some of the largest and most significant museums in each of the continents. In Africa, we have the Nigerian National Museum. It's in Lagos, also in Abuja, and we have all over the country, they have museums. And I want to let you know that there's arts galleries too that represent the culture of most of the artifacts from different cultures. The Egyptian National Museum is very great in Cairo, and you see the South African Museum, National Museum of Canada, of Nigeria, of Ethiopia. And in Asia, you see the National Museum of Egypt in Beijing, China, the Tokyo National Museum, Tokyo, Japan, the National Museum of India, New Delhi, India, and in Europe, you see the Louvre in Paris, France, the British Museum in London, UK, the State Hermitage Museum, St. Petersburg in Russia. We have in North America the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City, USA, the National Museum of Anthropology in Mexico, the Canadian Museum of History in Gatineau, Canada, and if you are in Canada, there's the Ontario Royal Museum is there, very mighty museum, And if you also, there's the OCAD, Canadian, the OCAD has a lot. But I was surprised when I got there. I saw some artifacts from many parts of the world. The Royal Ontario Museum is there. Canadian Museum of History is there. In fact, National Gallery of Museum in Ottawa, the Vancouver Art Gallery, Montreal Museum of Fine Arts. You need to visit to showcase the different countries' artwork and artifacts. It's part of learning. I also mentioned South Africa, South America. South America. We have the National Museum of Brazil. We have the National Museum of Anthropology in Peru. We have National Museum of Fine Art in Buenos Aires, Argentina. In Australia and Oceania, we have the Australia Museum in Sydney, Australia. We have the National Museum of New Zealand, Te Papa Tankakeroa. We also have American Museum of Natural History in New York and the Field Museum in Chicago. One thing that fundamental in most of these museums is that you have artifacts of other countries there, scientific and historical objects that are there. And as you are reading there, you get the history. How did they come about? Like we mentioned, the slave trade, the gold trade, so many things. Christopher Columbus travel, you see different, and it's part of learning. Why are we doing this? It's also to improve lifestyle. If there's nothing to do in a city, apart from eat and drink, which is also important, go to the museum. There are so many types of museum, of Bible museum, arts, natural war museum, natural events. There are of nature too. There's of nature. In some places, section for insects, symptoms of the first man, the Cape man, the ape man. You see, so please, I encourage us to visit museums. Museums are educative, they're informing, they're inspiring. They are part of our heritage, and one of the most important ways to make sure we sustain them, we sponsor them, we have we sponsor events at the museum, and we help to improve on museums, have legacy foundations supporting our history. People who know their history are supposed to learn from their history. But when you don't know your history, what can you even prepare for the future? And it helps us to inspire our youth to develop the more and make our society a better place. Once again, it's GAF TV channel on YouTube and other social media. We're on Instagram, we're on the WhatsApp, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, and so please, GAF is urging you to share, like, and comment on all these social platforms, and also subscribe. We thank you for what you are doing for us. We are all here together. We are stronger, bigger, and better and safer to improve the world, to add value to the world. Until I come your way, it's another second talk on museum. Thank you. God bless you. Shalom, shalom.